afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining us. I'm so glad that you are here with us today, right here, right now. I see all these wonderful little bouncing icons of, I call them bouncing icons of beauty is how I think of them, because I see all your little faces and your images is how you choose to represent yourself here. Drop me a note in the chat and tell me your name and where you're from. That's the only thing I don't get to see. I don't get to see your names with your beautiful faces. So I feel like I recognize some of my friends here in these faces. Good morning. Yeah, tell me in the chat where you're from, where you're joining us from today. Oh, the breath feels extra good today. Maybe it's because of what we're talking about. So today we're going to be moving with these beautiful bowls. And a series I'm thinking of, a session today I'm thinking of really connecting to on a very deep level, and it's called Focusing Your Power, how to focus our power. It's one of the things that a lot of times gets, I think, neglected in this busy day and age. There's so much pulling of focus, pulling of attention. We put our minds elsewhere, and we don't fully come into this present moment. So it's rather apropos for this world in which we find ourselves. Hi, Belle. Hi, and to everyone as well joining us from Sydney, Australia. I'm so glad you're here, my friend. I hope you've had a beautiful day. It's morning here where I am in Florida. I know it's evening time where you are in Sydney. Beautiful, beautiful country that you're in. It's one of our favorites. Our being my husband and I. We had an opportunity to spend about 3 months in Australia working on a couple of different projects. So you are very blessed to be there. Hi, Lillian from the Netherlands. The opposite side, yes. So, oh my goodness, so many wonderful people joining us today. I'm glad to be here. Well, let me tell you a little bit about what to expect. So sitting in front of you are 13 chromatically tuned crystal singing bowls. They're made out of 99.9% quartz crystals. And what makes that so special is that quartz, as many of you know, especially any of you who love to work with rocks and stones and the earth, have a very deep connection to resonance. Quartz crystal is used because of its electrical effects of being able to conduct electricity. And the bowls do just that. So in our time together, hi Danielle from Washington State, Spokane. Yes, thanks for joining us here. So in our time together today, this is an opportunity for us to come together and co-create. The energies that you're bringing forth, that you're manifesting, that you're resonating right now, begin to come through electrically in the screen. I see it in your faces, I see it and I can feel it in the chats, and so do the bowls. And the bowls will begin to vibrate and resonate in a way that they're responding to what it is that you are electrically creating on your end. And I just get to be the one who helps the bowls come forth and sound so that you can experience that resonance that they're giving off too. It was really interesting this morning. The bowls respond not only to the energy that you're putting off, they respond to me, they respond to what's going on in the air around them. They respond to strong intention. And some days, certain bowls will ring beautifully. Other days, they won't really speak at all. Sometimes they'll change. Many times in our sessions, you'll actually see the tonality of and the pitches, so the specific bowls that really want to speak, they will come through, they'll speak, they'll tell you a bunch, and then they'll just kind of recede, and someone else new will come forth with a different resonance, something else that we need. Has nothing to do with what I'm doing and everything to do with the bowls and you. So I thought it was really cool this morning because as I was sitting down and just saying good morning and acclimating myself to this space so I can be present too. The bowls, and I obviously need some more matcha or something. My brain wasn't fully functioning, but the bowls really connected to an E major tonality. what does that mean? Well, as I mentioned today we're talking about focus your power. Well, our power seats within our physical bodies are made manifest in the central portion of our human anatomy here in the third chakra, in the Manipura chakra. It's the seat of power. It's the fire in our belly, literally. And ancient civilizations and modern science shows us that there is this deep gut feeling, this burning, this projection forward, and it stems here in our very core. So E most easily resonates with the Manipura chakra. So the bowls were already telling me where we are really headed today, which I really appreciate, because sometimes we're not as fully present. We're not as able to be as fully where we want to be in our space, right? Again, it's a spiritual practice. It doesn't mean we're ever fully arrived. When we have, we're in a very different space. So I appreciated that. And I just wanted to share that with you, because sometimes it's good to know that you're never alone and that you are always backed up by something so much greater than you. There's probably some of you today that might need to hear that. So I welcome you to receive that message as well, that we're never alone. No matter how insurmountable the mountain in front of us seems, someone always has our back. And find peace in that. Because I think sometimes too, whenever we can really connect to peace, we've actually connected to our power. So focus is something that we talk about a lot in the spiritual sense, the spiritual context of being able to really connect to something much greater, reconnect to the divine, however you want to describe it, have a deeper connection with God, walking with your guides, your guardians, your friends, however it is that sounds and feels right for you to express. There's a lot of ways that we speak of connecting and reconnecting to this focused place of power. But we talk about it in the secular world as well. And I stumbled across some quotes, and I just thought they really connected us to this place in a different way, right? Because we're in this world, but we're not of it, right? But we also have to be able to function and move, because that's life. And that's why we're here, is to live. So let me share some wisdom from some of our modern day masters of sorts. Let's just call them that. Whenever you want to achieve something, keep your eyes open, concentrate, and make sure you know exactly what you want. No one can hit their target with their eyes closed. That's Paulo Coelho, always the brilliant writer. I like this one as well. The successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus. Bruce Lee. This one's from Zig Ziglar, a brilliant business mind. Business being an opportunity to connect, to manifest, to bring something forth in the world. You have to have a very strong core power of understanding of how to focus and bring something forth, right? And he said, I don't care how much power, brilliance, or energy you have. If you don't harness it and focus it on a specific topic and hold it there, you're never going to accomplish as much as your ability warrants. That's pretty good. And this last one, Mr. Steve Jobs. You have to work hard to get your thinking clean and make it simple. Once you get there, you can move mountains. And to me, it's this idea of simplicity, of singular laser-like focus that we've just heard these wonderful thinkers communicate. That singular laser-like focus reminds me much of a tiger. When a tiger hunts, he focuses on one prey. He's aware of all that's going on around him, but there is a single point of focus. And in that is his victory. Now, that may not be the most easily accessible metaphor, especially for me, animal lover and vegetarian, but it's true, right? And that's part of life as we know it here on this planet. Focus requires power. It's fueled by power. Otherwise, that power is just fire that just goes everywhere, and an uncontrollable fire never brings us to a point of potentiality, right? So today, let's focus on focusing our power of really harnessing that true capability. And our session today will be divided into 3 main sections. The first being an opportunity to retune, to really drop in, dive in. The second, we'll start releasing, and the third then we'll begin to receive. Each of these sections you can experience as you need to. There's no right or wrong way to experience the bowls or this time together. This time is your time. You can actively participate in having an active meditation session. You may want to passively just listen to this in the background and assimilate that and absorb that in your own way, in your own time. That's fine, whatever you need. So first, let's just begin to find a point of central focus. So I invite you now to go ahead and make yourself comfortable in whatever position you're in. Seated, standing, lying down, whatever works. And just give yourself an opportunity to pause for a moment. Bring your attention inward and begin to focus on your breath. Just listen to it. There's no need to control it. Follow the path of your breath. You may notice that it is moving a little more quickly today. Maybe you have a lot on your mind. Maybe your body isn't feeling well. Maybe you're detoxing. Maybe your breath is moving very slowly. You're already deeply connected into a state of beingness. Wherever you find yourself, honor that space. Don't try to do anything, just be. For you are perfect as you are in this moment. And as the bowls begin to pulsate, allow the vibrations to begin to enter the outside portion of your space, your physical space. You may begin to feel tingling, maybe a chill up the back of your spine, a recentering of sorts. Welcome that. Now as you witness your breath, I invite you to begin to place your attention in the center of your chest, in the place of your heart, your 4th chakra, the Anahata chakra. Witness, what does that experience feel like for you? Do you feel constriction? Do you feel fatigue? Do you feel joy? Can you feel more light? this light enters your heart space, your heart center, invite the light to shift throughout your body. There may be a single point within your system that you'd like the light to make contact with. It could be a point of pain, perhaps in your low back, a sticky upper shoulder. It could be your heart itself. It could be into your mind, racing, feeling anxiety, feeling consternation because of something not going the way that perhaps you were initially intending, that you had wanted. You had a certain path, a certain trajectory in mind, but the universe is seeing an opportunity for you to experience a slightly different path right now. Can this light help you find a little bit of peace from that expectation? Perhaps allowing you to release the expectation. This light will reverberate and shake, perhaps shake you to your very core in a gentle sort of way, almost like a lullaby. Let this resonance begin to pulsate throughout your entire physical system. And as it pulsates throughout your physical body, invite it to begin to shift and wiggle and jiggle all throughout your energetic bodies as well. So you have multiple layers. In Vedic thought, there are 5 bodies, subtle bodies, from the grossest, the most dense, our physical bodies, all the way out into the most subtle that we can barely perceive. Just intend to allow this light to fill your space. You are a being of light. Particular pitch, it's a C sharp. While we can feel the earth's vibrations sometimes under our feet, most of us can't hear it. This bowl is an amplification of what Mother Earth sounds like in her purest form. Sink into this sound. here with me right now. You are grounded. You are safe. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. Just be. And breathe. Inhale. Hold. Hold, and then let it go. Exhale. Inhale and hold. Hold. Let it go. Beautiful. Think, imagine, or feel a golden rope that gently descends from the base of your spine all the way down into the very core of Mother Earth. And as that golden rope finds its way to the center of the planet, hook the cord in to the core of our Earth and let yourself sink into this true, grounded potential. Beautiful. That's the power of these particular bowls. They're tuned to 432 Hertz. 432 Hertz is a slightly lowered pitch. It's more grounded, and it directly connects to the frequency of our planet. These sounds give us an opportunity to experience the life around us, the life in this dense place, in a more real and grounded way, and also to heal, which I invite you now to begin doing so. And how do we heal? With laser-like focus, intention, and detachment. I invite you to begin by detaching to a specific outcome. There's an infinite number of outcomes that could happen with whatever event, whatever healing, whatever topic it is that you are looking to reconnect to. Let the universe, let God, figure out which is the best path right now. Let yourself, on a deeper level, figure out which is the best path right now. So we're just going to release. We're going to release. And how do we do that? Sometimes we have to welcome in dissonance. For perspective. It's here we can loosen up the energetic grumbies. It's that space between that jiggles and wiggles and vibrates out things that no longer serve. And also allows messages from these, what we once thought were grumbies. We're really just companions on our path. And release. Just let go. You know what you need to let go of. Beautiful. How are you feeling right now, friends? Let me know in the chat. What are you experiencing? Let me reflect back to you what the bowls are communicating with me. So, the bowls seem to want to move from a one-pointed place of focusness. They want to focus, as I had mentioned before actually, they want to focus around this E major tonality. But what we're experiencing is that there is a lot that is pulling the attention, that's pulling the vibration, the energy outward into other notes, into other places. And while they're all beautiful, they're outside that one point of focusedness. And that's okay, that's great. That's a perfect place to be today. I invite you to consider in your life, where is your focus pulled? Where is it pulled? And where is it pulling? Is it where you would want your focus to be? Sometimes we direct our focus out of perceived obligation. Sometimes we don't direct our focus out of fear, out of a self-inflicted necessity. It's part of being human. Animals are so smart, especially cats. I love cats, just like the tiger. They're able to bring their attention where it needs to be in that moment, and then to redirect it where it needs to be in the next moment. There's an effortlessness, a fluidity to that way of approaching life. It's very natural. It's interesting if we think about the Manipura chakra, the third chakra, our seat of power. It's in our, what we might call our lower chakras. It has more density. The electricity within that chakra tends to have more density because it's manifesting in the physical realm. Whereas the energy from our upper chakras, it tends to be lighter, a little bit more subtle. Focus comes through the activation between these upper and lower chakras, but it really sits here. It sits in this physical place, affirming it's very natural. Almost like a spiritual instinct. I invite you now to consider where and how you would like to dive in. Where and how you would like to receive. Where and how you would like to find your focused power. If we are beings made of electricity, if we have fire and passion in our systems, let's find ways to direct that fire and passion. Let's start by witnessing the fire. uncontainable? Is it perfectly centered? It could be anything. How does it feel for you? That red, see it begin to flicker. See it begin to undulate. See it begin to focus with a laser beam intensity in this very, very central point of your body, right there in your solar plexus. There is an intensity of focus of this red color. And as the color focuses, it becomes more intense. It could be growing larger. It could be growing smaller with more concentration. It could be remaining the same size. Welcome your experience with your fire. And as the fire raises towards the sky, allow it to be what it is. I can feel this flame in you. It's so beautiful. This power is how we express ourselves in the world. Expression always comes through focus. I invite you to begin to have a dialogue with your fire, your power. It's you. It's just how we're choosing to perceive your power right now in this moment, as a flame, as a red flame, as that pure potential of physical manifestation, whatever that is for you. It could be something you want to manifest in the outside world. It could be an idea. It could be an artistic, creative expression. It could be a point of physical healing. It could be a point of mental or emotional healing. It's your fire, no one else's. Do with it as you may. Whatever you choose to do, I invite you to connect with focus. Beautiful. Focus never diminishes our flame. No. It harnesses it. It directs it. It guides it. It loves it. Think of it much like the pole star. It's the one star, the central point of focus from our perspective here on the planet that never changes. We can always find our way home. We can always find our way back to a central grounded point when we focus on that singular point. Now, let's activate with intention. You have the power. You have the focus. Now, what do you intend? Scripture tells us whenever we have a single point of focus and an activated emotion, Just breathe. And as you feel able, guided, led, just begin to move and shift your body a little bit. Come back into this physical place a little more consciously. I scratched my head, I think, because I found that a very interesting session. Like I said at the beginning, no two sessions are ever the same because you can never step into the same river twice. And there was an interesting flow within this fire, almost like a sea of fire is what it felt like around me at all times. And my Ayurvedic dosha is Pitta with some Vata tendencies. And in Chinese medicine, I'm very fiery, so I'm not afraid of fire at all. I'm a redhead. It was a very different fire of ocean of fire than I have ever witnessed, and so I thank you for that. Let me reflect back what I saw. So there was lots of needs to reconnect to that which we would call power. There were many who have a different kind of relationship with that idea than perhaps on a deeper level they actually really want. So often in our society, I think we're told that power is dangerous, or power is not feminine, or power is da-da-da-da-da. There's much attached to this construct of power, and in many ways that makes sense, because where there is power, there is potential. And when you connect it, when you focus it, it is limitless potential. And that can be frightening for many people, for a variety of reasons. So witnessing the gamut of people who are very fiery, who are very connected, many of you are very connected to the central point of potentiality, power. Man, you got some mighty fine third chakras over there firing. To people who are really connecting to in a different way of understanding, well, what is this power? And you have other places where you really resonate, but perhaps that power right now, for whatever reason, that flame had been pulled down a bit. So so all of that manifested in the bowls. There was complete permission, which we would hear a lot of times in these open fifths. There's a fascinating mythological and theoretical understanding of what's called a perfect fifth in music. I've always seen it as a portal. It's an opportunity to move in and create something new from a different level or a different side. You hear open fifths a lot in Gregorian chant. And so this is where it's an activating interval. An interval is simply the distance between two notes. So the fire point of that really came through. The interesting thing about fifth, which I'll be talking about we're working on a couple of upcoming workshops, so please stay tuned for that. And one of the things we will be talking about in these workshops is the potency of these intervals. But what I noticed today is that the interval would shift just a little bit, because this note would begin to almost pull down in pitch. These bowls were literally tuned at the factory. There is one note they are supposed to be able to play, but we know that's not always the case because they're working with us. So by this bowl actually lowering in pitch, that portal became a little bit, for lack of a better word, wonky. And you could feel that pull and that tension. But you see, in the tension is sometimes can be the greatest potential too. So I'd be curious to see how you experienced that. On this side, it was, as always, unexpected, but a very, very beautiful and powerful session, if I may use the word loosely. So thank you for being here with us today. DC, hi. Oh, I'm so glad you were with us. Of course, it was a gift. And you and all of your fellow friends here, all these beautiful beings, co-created that with you. So that was wonderful. Yeah, Valerie, it really was incredible. It was confronting and comforting all at the same time. Enlivening and softening. It was pretty intense. So thank you for making that. Yeah, and we'll definitely have more of these sessions. We'll have more sessions coming up, more live sessions will be posted later today. So stay tuned for that. If you want to follow our teacher page, I'd love to connect with you there. Drop a line. You can read more about some of the things that we're doing too in the About section. It's really interesting. I appreciate your donations too. It makes what we do here an even greater opportunity to connect and continue to do what we do. We've got some really interesting tracks up right now in our track section. There are two main sections that we work on, one of which actually begins to stimulate the vagus nerve, the central point, the master nerve within our body. And the vagus nerve is such an exciting field of study right now in both science and parascience. The spiritual and the literal aspect of what that nerve does. It is so powerful. And we have music that actually stimulates. It's been scientifically shown to stimulate the vagus nerve just by listening. So you can begin to heal by putting on earphones, pushing play, and letting go. It's amazing what your body can do when we just get out of the way, which is always the most challenging thing, right? Because if our body needs to heal, we're the ones who got it in that mess in the first place. So now we just have to step back out of the way and let it do its thing with cultivated intention. So, Danielle, oh, thank you so much for your kind words. I'm glad you were able to start your day off right. Yeah, these bowls will help you do that. They really do recenter and refocus. Beth, oh, you've never experienced a bowl session. Well, welcome. I'm so glad you were here. And I look forward to seeing you again. Yeah. Hi, V. It's nice to see you. Yeah, laying on that note aggravated me a bit. Yep, not sure what it is. Well, actually, it was this one. So this is an E, and laying on it, which was interesting. See how it sounds a little differently now? Hang on, let me back off. It's very different than that very last note that hung on, wasn't it? Very, very different. Like I said, that pitch was kind of depressing downward. It almost makes me think sometimes when you stretch, you kind of lean into this sort of counter movement between the upper and lower portions of your body to allow for a greater release. It kind of felt like that's what the bowl was inviting us to do. And that's not always fun and easy and the nicest place to be, right? But that's one of the things I love about these bowls is that they're our friends, and our true friends, those who love us the most, help us find spaces within ourselves where we could be maybe a little bit more expanded, a place where we could offer in a little bit more growth. They don't really pull punches, these guys. No, they meet us exactly where we are, and perhaps where we need to be. And I love too, V, that you had said that it was that aggravating. It's that fiery energy, right? Aggravation. It's fiery. It's upward moving. The interesting thing about all the elements that we talk about in Ayurveda, we talk about in Chinese medicine, all of the elements move up. Or no, they all move down, I'm sorry, except fire. Fire moves up. It's the one element that's upward moving. Everything else might move side to side. In the body, those energies will tend to move down to a central point accept fire. Pretty powerful. Yeah. Yeah, you did notice it being different when you played it, when I played it later. Yeah. Again, the bowls never lie. So right now, let me just invite you to a point of stillness, a final point of peace, and a point of potential. Thank you for being here with me today, my friends. It's always an honor to share space with you, to share time with you, and to share energy with you. May your day be blessed. May your path unfold with effortless ease and grace. And may you know your power is always within reach. I pray that focus will come for you always at the most perfect time. I'll see you next time. Sat Nam.